All right, friends, I have a late night Azure Standard haul because I've been running around all day doing all kinds of errands. So I'm going to share with you what I got. If you're curious, what is Azure Standard? They sell bulk food. You can get organic bulk grains. You can get milk and cheese, bulk cheese. You can get cleaning products, household products, kitchen products, anything food, gluten-free, all that kind of good stuff. So if you are interested in Azure, check out my link down below in this video's description. And when you sign up and spend $100, they give me a $20 credit. When you sign up and share your link with your friends and family and they make a $100 order, you're gonna get a $20 credit too. So help each other out, check out the link. And Azure delivers to a drop location near you. If there's not one near you, you can set up your own, but they do deliver to drop locations. So once a month you will have to travel to that drop location in your area and pick up your products that are delivered on a big truck, on a big tractor trailer. So I'm gonna share with you what I picked up. I didn't get a lot of stuff, and then at the end I will tell you my total. All right, first, Azure does sell plants, and I picked up a few plants from there today. Let's see, we got a little cayenne pepper plant. I was gonna try to grow some from seed, but I'm real far behind on doing that. I have some other pepper plants growing and they just have the first two little leaves on top. So I bought a cayenne pepper plant, and that is for medicinal purposes. This is gonna go in my medicinal herb garden. Right here, we have some Watoma pickling cucumbers. I wanted some cucumbers that I could pickle, and I also have some cucumbers growing in my garage that we are going to have to eat on the daily basis because my kids love cucumber pickles. And then we got 2 zucchini plants and 2 squash plants. I like to freeze dry zucchini and squash and use them throughout the year, so I'm going to be freeze drying a lot of that for sure. All right, over here I got 10 pounds of semolina spaghetti. It is organic spaghetti, and it was $2.86 a pound. I forgot to check I forgot to check Costco when I was there the other day because they had spaghetti also that was organic. I didn't check the price on that. I had already placed my Azure order when we shopped at Costco yesterday. So I did not buy spaghetti from Costco, and I didn't look at the price because I had already gotten it. Back here we got 3 jars of Bubby's prepared horseradish because we've got some beef, some roast beef and things like that, or some beef roast that we need to cook, and we all like a little bit of horseradish with that. So this was $10.08 for 3 of these containers. I didn't do the price breakdown, but we love horseradish around here. I don't know if we'll get through all of this, but I'm gonna start using it up, and I can always freeze dry it, but this needs to go into the freezer. Or not the freezer, this needs to go into the refrigerator because it's fermenting and it is not shelf stable, so it does need to be refrigerated. No preservatives, always refrigerate. Okay, I also picked up the Independent Farmstead book. This book was $24.30, I believe, right around there, and I've already read a couple pages in it, and it's really good. Tons of useful information in there if you want to have your own little farmstead, your own little homestead, kind of like what we're doing here. We don't have any animals at the moment. We got rid of all of them, but once we figure out what we're doing in life, we are going to have a little bit of property and we're going to have a little farmstead, homestead. So my goal is to read this before we move, if we move, and to be prepared and full of knowledge so that we can do that. I'm already enjoying this book so much. I picked it up from Azure. All right, over here we got I got the dishwasher gel because they were completely out of the dishwashing powder. However, they had 1 damaged bag in their clearance, and a lot of times things will sell out before it gets to my order. So I put this in my cart, and I put this in my cart because they were completely sold out of the dishwasher powder except for this busted up bag. And I got the dishwasher gel because I love the fragrance-free dishwashing detergent and the dish soap and all that stuff. I love fragrance-free. I do not like scented cleaning products. So I went ahead and got both of those. That should tie us over for the next, 6 months to a year. $24.09 for this liquid. This is 128 ounces, 1 gallon, and then $33.92 for it is 8 pounds of dishwashing detergent. It might be a little less because it was busted, but they adjusted the price for that. So I'm gonna put this whole bag back into this container and we are going to continue using that. I'm gonna write my total across the screen because I've got to pull it up on their website.
A new place, a new home, for a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back, take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by, life is good, best I've ever felt. Get me up, somewhere new, somewhere I can find myself. Oh, I feel so alive. As I reach out to the sky. I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day. Cause I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay. Cause I found my way. Cause I found my way. Cause I found my way, my way, my way.
I feel like I can function now that my kitchen's all cleaned up. So we made a big old batch of banana chocolate chip sheet pancakes. These are a hit around here, so I make 2 big sheet pans and then I slice it up, serve it up, and freeze the rest for a rainy day when I don't feel like making breakfast. And that's a gift that you can give yourself too, mama. Make up some food, double batch it, and set some aside for another day when you need time off from cooking in the kitchen, when you just want to spend time with your family, so you can just grab something out of the freezer, reheat it, and get on with your life. I'm all about that. We're gonna make breakfast burrito frittatas. I've made these before on my channel. It's just a super easy way to cook up a whole bunch of eggs at once. And you cook them up on a sheet pan, and then you can just cut them into perfect rectangles for your tortillas. It works really, really well. We've got some farm fresh eggs. We got some tortillas from the store just to make my life easier. And then back here, I've got some spinach. So these are gonna be spinach, sausage, cheddar frittatas. I'm going to start out with about 24 to 30 eggs in this big bowl, and I'm going to get out my electric mixer. That's going to make my life a little bit easier, mixing up all these eggs and milk. The rule of thumb for making frittatas, quiches, things like that is 4 eggs to 1 cup of milk. Typically, I do a higher egg to milk ratio, so I will add more eggs than I do milk. But if you want to make a good quiche, it's 4 eggs to 1 cup of milk. And then you add all of your cheese and spinach and all the other goodness. But we make frittatas here, crustless quiche essentially. And this is going to go on the sheet pan and bake in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit until it is cooked all the way through. There you see I just added a whole bunch of milk. And we are going to continue mixing this up in a larger bowl. That was a teaspoon of onion powder. And we're also going to add in some fresh cracked black pepper, as well as probably a teaspoon of Redmond's real salt. Now, the sausage already has a bunch of salt and seasoning in it, and so does the cheese. So you don't really want to add a lot of extra salt. That's why I just went with a teaspoon for this amount, because there's already salted ingredients going into this recipe. There goes the spinach. I just had that. It was frozen spinach. I had it straining in the colander. I pressed out as much of the liquid as I possibly could. Then I'm just gonna mix that in with all of this sausage. That is about a full pound, or maybe that was 2 pounds of sausage. I can't remember. I filmed this a few weeks back. I'm a bit behind on my content. So this is all going to get mixed up. We are going to add in about 2 cups, possibly 3 cups of shredded cheese. Use your own discretion, however much cheese you want to do. And then we're going to add this big 8-cup quantity. That's 8 cups of eggs and milk into my large mixing bowl. Let's get this mixed up, and we're going to pour it onto parchment paper lined baking sheets. That makes my cleanup easier. You can do with or without baking or parchment paper. Also, I recently purchased some spray coconut oil. I'm going to give some spray oil a go in this video. We're going to use that, and I'm going to spray it onto my parchment paper, and we're going to use the spray coconut oil to spray our muffin tins, because I'm not going to use paper in my tins. I'm just going to use that oil and hope and pray that they release. I should have filmed them as soon as I got them out of the oven, because they were all puffy, but now that they're starting to settle, after about 30 seconds they go down. So they were all souffled up, but they're no longer souffled up. Once these are cooled, I'll take them out and cool them on a rack, and then I'll throw them in the freezer on a parchment paper lined tray. Once they're frozen pucks, I'll throw them in a Ziploc bag, and that's where they'll stay until me or Aaron or one of the kids grabs them out to eat. Actually, I won't be eating these. These are not dairy free. I need to make some dairy free ones. And these right here are for Aaron for work. And then these and the ones in there are gonna be for the kids' burritos. So that's ready to come out now too. made some chili and I used some bone broth, and it's just got carrots and onions, some beef, some of the kidney beans that I can up. I need to can more beans because I'm running out of canned beans. We did a can of, what is it, Rotel, and then a can of homemade tomato sauce that we canned up from our garden tomatoes last year. And that's why it's got such a yummy looking, pretty broth to it. So I'm gonna have a bowl myself. All right, so tonight I made gravy. It's like chicken gravy. What I did was I cooked a whole chicken in my Instant Pot. But I do it every week almost, and I use all the drippings from the chicken to make a chicken vegetable gravy. We had that over some rice cooked in some broth, and here's the leftover chicken. And then we put 2 carcasses, because I had one in the freezer, 2 carcasses, covered them with water, chopped up an onion, threw in some freeze-dried celery. We have carrots, we have peppercorns, bay leaves, onion. I can't think of what else I will put in there. Maybe a few little ginger, I'm not sure. But this is going to simmer for the next 48 hours, and then I will mash up the bones, let it cook a little more, strain everything out, and then we will can it, or maybe I'll freeze dry it and make a freeze-dried powder. Today I'm making an easy minestrone soup. I'm gonna add some pasta to it, but I've got chicken broth here. I have a whole nother ½ gallon in my fridge. We're gonna throw in some dark red kidney beans, this vegetable soup mix. We've got onions and carrots going in there. We're just gonna add everything in here and cook it. Pressure cook it for about 15 minutes, and we'll have, a spoonful of Italian seasoning, some Redmond's real salt, some pepper. It'll be good to go. I used up my kidney beans making chili the other day, so I need to get back on the beans. But in the meantime, I have some canned beans too. And we really like this soup because it's got okra in it. Here's some home canned tomato sauce. Some broth. Some Italian seasoning. About a teaspoon or so, maybe 2. Redmond's real salt. Add some more broth in there. I'm gonna add some pasta and pressure cook it. Got my big old mess. Alright, so give this a good stir. Soup. 215. Right now it's just cold because of the frozen veggies, but once that starts cooking, that's gonna be real good. The kids ate all the soup that I made last week, so this is similar, and they'll probably gobble this up too. Thanks so much for hanging out with us for this Azure Standard and meal prep video. I will see you all in the next video. Bye.